Okay, welcome to a conversation with a community leader, sponsored by Leadership Kitsap. I'm your host, Cary Bozeman, the former mayor of Bremerton and Bellevue, Washington. And I'm really pleased today to have an old friend as my guest, Daryl Matheny. Am I pronouncing the last name right, Daryl?
Oh, you nailed it. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
nailed it. Good. What kind of name is that?
Oh, it's a little everything, but mostly German.
Well, Daryl is the general manager, right, of Gold
That's right.
Mountain Golf Course. And I will admit up front that I'm an avid golfer. I didn't say a good golfer, but an avid golfer. And I've known Daryl for a long time. So, Daryl, good to have you on the show today.
Well, thanks for having me, Cary.
Daryl, before we talk about Gold Mountain, where are you from? What brought you here?
Well, I was born in Southern California, Lakeside, El Cajon area. I was born in Ventura, but family moved up here in '75 and been up here for the most part ever since.
Did you go to high school up here?
I did. I went to junior high at Fairview Junior High School, and then went to Olympic High School.
What got you started in golf? Were you on the high school golf team or something?
Yeah, I was on the high school team. My dad was a big golfer and
Uh-huh.
drugged me out on weekends, and then kind of got me into it. So I've been around the game since I was about 12.
Where did you start playing golf? What golf course?
Well, believe it or not, Gold Mountain was one, but Rolling Hills as well.
Oh yeah, that's a great old public golf course. Yeah,
It is. It is. It's near
yeah.
and dear to my heart. But
We're lucky to have it in this community. Uh, Daryl, what do you do when you're not playing golf and you're not working at the golf
when I'm not playing golf and not working, that takes up 90% of my time. So
course? Yeah,
spending
maybe you're
time with
working too
family.
much, Daryl.
No, we're spending time with family. You know, we hang out and do a lot of things. We boat. We're big boat people, and just enjoy family.
How many children do you have, and are they golfers?
I have three children, two sons and a daughter, and they are all golfers. Yeah.
They are. How old are they? Are they still in high school?
No, they're all graduated from high school. My oldest is 20, just turned 24.
Uh-huh.
And then my middle child, also a son, he is 21, and then my daughter is 19.
So your current job is the general manager. Is that the title?
That's it.
Of the Gold Mountain Golf Course. How long, Daryl, have you been there, and what is your job? What do you do?
Well, that's a great question. I actually have been here. I got started in May of 1988, working here at Gold Mountain.
Well, you probably went to work for an old friend,
Yeah,
Scott
absolutely.
Alexander.
Absolutely. Yeah, I came on. Scotty brought me on May of '88, and
And that was when they just had the one golf course, right?
right, we just had the Cascade Golf Course and the old clubhouse. It's a great old clubhouse, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I remember that clubhouse. If it was a heavy rain, you had to put a bunch of buckets around because the roof leaked.
oh, absolutely. And in fact, the last winter that we were in there before we moved into the clubhouse that we're currently in, we had 17 mayonnaise buckets throughout the golf shop collecting rain. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
but you had that great little restaurant upstairs. And it was really felt good.
Yeah, no, the old bar with the real high back seats. It was a cool spot. But just to give you kind of a sense of how old and how dilapidated that building was, the upstairs was where we'd have weddings or post tournament stuff, but there was no restroom or no restrooms upstairs, so you had to go downstairs in order to hit the
Right.
restroom, and there was no handicap access, so
Yeah,
you had to climb a flight of stairs to get up to it, and we were in
yeah.
that building until 2000. So.
And even back then, Daryl, the Cascade course was still well respected, and people came from all over to play it, right?
Oh, absolutely. It was and really still is. It was forgotten once we opened the Olympic golf course, but it was considered one of the best public golf courses in the state.
Yeah, it still is.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
great track.
so Scott Alexander, I know this because I was mayor when some of this happened, but Scott Alexander decided to retire.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we had a big banquet for him, big retirement thing for him. He'd been there, what, 25 years or something like that?
28. 28.
28 years.
Yeah.
I know he's still around. I see him up there once in a while.
Yeah.
One of the great guys, and I know he's a good friend of yours.
Great.
So you've taken over for Scott, and things have changed a little bit since then. Because you're not working for the city, you're actually working for a contractor that contracts with the city.
Correct.
So what is your job out at Gold Mountain? You're the head guy out there. So what do you do?
You know, I am. I'm general manager is my title, but I honestly, Cary, I do a little everything. I guess my job in itself, I kind of oversee the facility, all the different departments. You know, we have food and bev, the golf side, maintenance. So I oversee those departments, and then just day-to-day operations. As you know, it's enterprise fund. You know, it's one of the best assets, in my opinion, that the city owned. But
I agree with
enterprise
that.
fund. So we've got to make, you know, we've got to pay our own way, and so it's, you know, it takes me.
Yeah, the whole idea has always been that Gold Mountain would pay its own way.
Yeah, and we have absolutely.
Yeah, I know. Even though over years it's been a struggle, because you get bad weather and you have a terrible winter, and you know you're kind of subjected to that.
Right.
So
right.
So it's a good challenge. Let me put it that way.
Absolutely.
So you kind of manage all those divisions. How many people actually do you need to work out there? How many employees do you have?
Well, it obviously it varies because of the business that we're in, and just the cyclical side of it. But in our peak in the summertime, we're at about 160 team members total.
Wow.
Then that drops in the dead of winter. We'll be down around the 60 range, 55 to 60.
Uh-huh.
So big fluctuation, but yeah, in the dead of summer, it takes a lot of people to run this place. As you know, it's.
I do, and you know, I will say, because I get out there, you know, I'm probably a once a weeker, but I
not
look
enough,
for
not enough,
not enough. But I look for you know, me, Daryl. I look for how things are going, and I give you guys high marks. I mean, the people who work behind the desk are very good. Usually, if you get a tea time, they're ready. I will say, I think this everybody having their own golf cart has speeded up play.
Yeah,
I think that's for sure. Maybe you guys ought to think about keeping it that way and just charging more for the golf cart. But I think it's well managed, and I know restaurants are a nightmare to try to manage in terms of keeping the number of people you need and all that.
mm-hmm.
But I've seen, you know, we always have a sandwich afterwards, and you know, there's always people there, and they're very courteous, and everybody's got their mask on, and I want to talk a little bit about that. So I think I give you guys high marks, Daryl.
Well, I appreciate that.
I'm a tough judge. Tell me about managing in the COVID community that we're in. What do you have to do? What happens?
Well, you know, it's ever changing. I'll tell you that. There's just so much new information coming out. It seems like daily, but it certainly had its challenges. You know, especially right out of the chute when we got shut down for I guess almost 6 weeks. But you know, at the end of the day, it's at least what we're doing is you really got to keep the guest and the team member first and foremost, and make sure that, you know, we're providing the healthiest workspace and the healthiest space for our guests. So it's been challenging, but you know, masks are required in the clubhouse. We have folks that go around and sanitize all the heavy touch spots hourly. We do a deep clean every night. We have stations around with the hand sanitizer. So we're doing everything we can just to keep it safe. You know, on the golf course, as you know, no bunker rakes, no ball washers, no benches. Excuse me.
Keep
golf carts were
keep
sanitized.
the flag in the hole so people don't have to pull the flag out.
Yeah. So no touching the golf flag.
That also speeds up play.
It does, absolutely. So
Does, and you know
single
me,
cart riders, sanitizing those carts after every use. So
yep,
our range, as you know, we don't use our coin operated dispenser anymore. Or
yep.
currently, we have buckets in that we sanitize after each use, and that we've got in the golf shop and have those out. So a
You
lot of
talk,
things, it's
you
a
talk,
different way to do
you
it, but
talk to other golf courses and see what they're doing, Daryl. You guys kind of all work together on this.
We do. We have a number of other golf facilities within our portfolio of
Yeah,
Columbia Hospitality. So we really work together, and it's a joint effort, top to bottom. Our company actually created Columbia Cares, or Columbia Clean, where it's kind of a directive from the top, and it really expands on just the standard cleaning that you see out there, and again makes a clean, healthy environment for everybody that's out
you
enjoying.
know what's amazing, Daryl, and I want to talk a little bit about this is with all of this COVID going on, your play is really up. I mean, people are just. I know your sheet's full every day.
Yeah, it is, and it's I guess out of with lemons you make lemonade. We've been the beneficiary of being the only game in town, so
Yeah,
we see round volume now that we haven't seen since Tiger Woods came on the scene back in the early '90s.
yeah. And I
It's a lot
guess
of fun.
part of it is just the golfers out there feel safe being out there, right?
Yeah, outdoor activity. You can't get much safer than that. And yeah, like I said, it's one of the few things you can do currently. So yeah, it has been a
And
lot of
most
fun.
and most of us are playing with people we know. It's hard to social distance when you're playing golf.
Right.
That 6 foot thing. I mean, we don't. Most people aren't doing that, but they're usually playing with people they know and they feel comfortable
Right. Yeah.
with.
No,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. I mean, how many people are out there playing golf right now? But there's nothing else for them to do. You can't go to restaurants, and you
Right.
can't fly out anywhere and go on a vacation or anything. So,
Yeah.
as long as your weather holds up, you guys are probably gonna, even though you were closed for so many weeks, you'll probably end up doing okay year end, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Year end, I think really looks good. The team has done a great job managing their controllable expenses with labor and everything else. And yeah, as busy as it's been, even it's been negatively on the food and bev side. We've lost
Yeah,
almost every wedding
right.
we had booked, and so it's
And I suppose
down.
on the banquet side also probably, huh?
Right, right. Pre and post tournament have been canceled. So yeah, so great on the golf side, not so good on the food and bev, but a net win
And
to
I
be.
would guess you guys host usually a lot of tournaments, and you're not doing much of that probably, huh? Like
Yeah,
for the
we're still not able to run shotgun tournaments, so
uh,
we're doing tee times. Um, it's nice being as busy as we are, because our day to day, if we're just doing just regular rack rates and regular business, it's just awesome. And then we don't have to deal with some of the headaches that come with running a golf event. But we have started seeing some traveling groups and some bigger events that again are only tee times, but that's starting to slowly come back.
speaking of tournaments, Daryl, I I remember the two big USGA national tournaments we hosted.
Mhm.
Um, the one Jordan Speak won. I remember following him around and thinking, boy, this guy can play golf. I guess I was right about that, although
Absolutely.
he's struggling right now. Um,
Yes.
do you see Gold Mountain? I know you still probably host. You used to host the Husky Invitational. Do you see Gold Mountain again hosting things of that nature, that large, or do you think that's just too much work and not enough? Not
Well,
enough.
and this, I mean, we could go down this hole for a long time, because I've got a lot of I guess opinion on that. But yeah, I absolutely think this facility could host USJ events tomorrow if we wanted to. But as you know, there's a lot that goes into those,
Yep.
a lot of effort. At the end of the day, it's up to us to fundraise to make up the difference in what we would lose. shutting the golf course down.
Yeah.
So I've really, and I know that was Scott. That was near and dear to Scotty's heart,
Yep.
And all that. And when I took over in 13, I still certainly at some point want to get back onto that national or international level and host some of those bigger events. But I was really kind of gearing this facility towards corporate events and some of those bigger events that will, as weird as it sounds, pay a lot of money to come out and play,
Yeah.
just because we've got a big debt that we're still paying on this facility that we're able to do successfully. But still, we've got to be able to get that down, pay that off, and then I think we'd be in a really good position to go after some of those.
Yeah, my thought was if you could host something maybe every 5, 7, 8 years, something like that, that was prestigious, and because those two good golf tournaments, they're nice to put on your resume.
Oh, absolutely.
And look what Chambers Bay did. I'm not a big Chambers Bay fan, to be honest with you. You can't have a car. Old guy like me, you can't walk it. It's too hard to walk.
Right.
And I don't know how you build a public golf course. I shouldn't say this. I don't know how you build a public golf course anymore with public funds and have it just be walking. I don't know how you do that.
Right.
You're eliminating, most seniors.
Yeah,
it's a hard walk.
Half the golfing population for sure.
But they hosted the U.S. Open, and I'm sure that's been good for their business for a long time. So
yeah, still is for sure.
Still is. So maybe sometime in the future we could revisit that. You can't. You guys did 2 in a row almost, right? And that was
it was 06 for the pub links, and then 2011 for the junior. And the USGA, if I remember right, goes on. I want to say they're a 6 or an 8 year cycle where if you host an event, then you get back on that track, and it's 6 or 8 years before you're able to host another. I think in the future we'd definitely get back on that. We do host. You'd mentioned the Husky. We are back hosting the Husky Invitational, and we've done a couple of Mountain West Conference Championships, and the WAC Conference Championships. So we've hosted a couple of good size events. But
I know the U.S. because I was kind of part of some of that. The USGA loves the Olympic golf course. I really think it's a great track. And I remember when Jordan Speak was here, I hosted a couple kids at my house that year. But I didn't host Jordan Speak, but I talked to him afterwards. And I said, "How do you like our golf course?" And he said, "It's one of my favorites."
Yeah.
So, I think to a person, I didn't hear any criticism of our golf course.
Yeah.
And that brings up another subject, which I want to talk about, is how do you maintain 36 holes of golf with the level of play you get? And I will say, I thought the golf course has been in great shape this last year.
Yeah, well, we have a couple of push mowers and a couple of people with some scissors that go out to cut it. But no, it's. I'm kidding there, by the way.
Yeah, I was looking at my notes, so I didn't pick up on that.
I'll tell you, Abel Anderson is our superintendent. He's been on board for about a year and a half now, and we were fortunate enough to get him from Bear Mountain Golf Course in Chelan. But he and his team just do a phenomenal job on that, and it's a 24/7, especially this time of year. Trying to maintain it, make sure there's no disease. And especially with all the play that we're getting. So no, they do a phenomenal job, but it takes a lot of effort. I'll tell you that.
And you do it with a pretty small staff, right?
We do. That staff is growing as we're able to put more money into maintenance of the facility. So yeah, he's essentially doing for 2 golf courses with a budget that most single 18-hole facilities have. So
yeah. Well, you've always had the old superintendent was really good too.
Well, Ed Falk did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, he was great. And
Absolutely.
So you've had good superintendents out there. Some people always ask me, why aren't there any homes around the golf course, And I tell them, and maybe you can, the golf course is in the Bremerton watershed, right?
We are on the outskirts of the watershed, but we are on watershed property. So that's the main reason there's no construction, no homes, no industrial areas. It's just all natural beauty. And to my,
I,
I think it's probably one of the, if not the only facility in the state that's like that. There's homes on about every other golf course you see, and yeah, it is certainly unique.
and it's one of the things that makes the course so special. I just think it's great. Uh, I was curious about the amount of play you get from outside the region. I know when I was living in Seattle and Bellevue, people would always talk about coming over and playing Gold Mountain. Do you know about what percentage you get that come from outside our Kitsap County?
Yeah, we haven't done a study on that in years, but I don't think it's changed a whole lot from the last time we did it. And
How many rounds are you playing now, just generally on each course?
believe it or not, we're pushing almost 80,000 rounds a year, and it's equal. It's about 40 on each.
Wow.
Yeah, and the player is coming from further away to play the Olympic golf course, or from different counties. Where you see the Cascade is the opposite, where we're getting more from Kitsap County, but um, it's 40, roughly 40% of our play is coming from in the county, 50%.
And
And then another,
it's amazing because Kitsap's blessed with a lot of good golf courses.
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
right up the street here, you got Trophy Lake, which is always ranked in the top 10 or 15, as Gold Mountain is.
Yeah.
And then you got McCormick Woods, and you got Fort Ludlow up the road. So if you're a golfer, Kitsap County is a good place to live.
It's an awesome spot. And then, not too far away, you've got Salish Cliffs, you've got White Horse.
Yep.
I mean, there's some
And
really good golf courses.
I have friends come over from Seattle, and they can't believe how affordable Gold Mountain is. They say one of my friends said, Bozeman, this is $100 golf course, and what do we
Yeah.
get, $50 or something like that to play it? One of the best golf. Daryl, I have played golf, not all over the world, but I've played a lot of golf. Gold Mountain to this day is still my favorite golf course.
Yeah, well, mine as well. And I've played all over the world, and I'm in the same boat. But getting back to your $100 a round,
Yeah.
I think we've done a really good job. We look at our comp set and try and position the Olympic side as kind of pushing the envelope, if you will, on the ceiling
Right.
there, year in and year out. And then we try and keep the Cascade, reasonably priced, and try and keep it affordable especially for our residents, city residents, county residents.
Believe me, it is. It's affordable.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's really what we want. We want this place packed because, you being around it for a while, especially as mayor, the more golfers we have, the more opportunity we have to sell a shirt or a beer or a salad.
You go to a restaurant and you walk out and it's $50-$60, and you go to Gold Mountain, you get 4 or 5 hours of wonderful entertainment. And I don't know what the fee is in Cascade now, $40, something like that.
Yeah, it ranges anywhere from, well, you can get it at Twilight for 25, and it's 40. 45.
It's the best deal for a golf course of that magnitude. Gold Mountain is just one of the best deals. I mean, affordable of anything. We're running out of a little time, but a lot of people are playing golf. Are young people starting to play golf again? And do you give lessons to young people out at the course?
We do, and we are seeing an influx of younger players. We run a couple of different camps throughout the summer. We've seen those numbers grow. The PGA Junior League we started hosting 4 years ago or 3 years ago, and that's growing considerably. So we're certainly seeing a lot more younger players coming into the game of golf.
Good. Daryl, this program is about leadership. I'm interviewing you because you're a leader in our community. How would you describe your leadership style?
I guess I kind of got on and saw some of the shows that you taped earlier, and I certainly don't consider myself. I guess I would be a leader in the area, but
you're certainly a leader here. You're running one of the most important operations in Kitsap County. Of course you are.
You're right. But I guess getting to my management style, I'm open door. I love hearing everybody's opinion. I certainly don't go through a day without talking to my golf manager John Sitton or my superintendent Abel Anderson. I really feel like you put good people around you, you're going to succeed. And I've got
That's
just
the
a great
key.
team.
I always said, I'm only as strong as the people around me. And if I know as much as they do about the subject, we're both in trouble. They're supposed to be the experts.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
part of your job too, Daryl, and I'm curious of how much of your job you think is meeting with the customer.
Well,
I mean, just saying hello to people out there.
yeah, and boy, that's a great point, Cary, because in my day-to-day job, I'm coming up with reports and really keep my eye on financials and what have you, and I could spend every minute of my day sitting at my desk staring at my computer, but I make it a point to get out, a couple 3 hours a day and really either get in the shop and work a little bit or get out on the range and just say hi to people that I've known for years. I think that's important because it's,
Well,
I want to create a
yeah.
space where people are welcome and they want to come out and have a good time. And
Yeah, they want to, and I think they want to see you. They want to say hello. Hey,
Yeah.
Daryl, before you still play golf for fun?
Well, as much as I can, absolutely. I'd like to play a lot more, but yeah,
I
I'll get
see.
out a little bit.
Yeah, good. Let's see. I think, I guess my only comment would be, Daryl, that I give high marks to Gold Mountain and to you and your team. You make a lot of people happy. Some days, for a lot of those guys, a lot of those people, the 4 hours on the golf course, the best part of their day. And I think you changed lives, and I think that's really an important part of our community. I want to congratulate you and your staff because I know most of them. You've got really solid people out there. And it's been a pleasure to have a conversation with you, Daryl, and you are a community leader.
Thank you.
So I'll close. Thank you, Daryl. I'll close by wishing everybody to stay safe, wear your mask, and we'll see you next time on a conversation with a community leader. Thanks, Daryl.
Thanks, Cary.
Leadership Kitsap is our community's civic leadership program. Leadership Kitsap fosters and empowers educated, prepared, and engaged community leaders. For over 25 years, we have cultivated leaders that work collaboratively to create positive change, dedicated to making our community a better place to work and live. We expose our class to Kitsap's leaders across public, private, and nonprofit sectors. We're happy to bring many of the conversations with these leaders to you. Strong leaders build strong communities.